Hi, I'm Nancy O'Neill. Today on Suncoast FYI, it's National Rehabilitation Week, a preview of the 89th season at the Players Center, and how you can help the Columbia Restaurants Community Harvest. All next on Suncoast FYI. Joining me now are CEO of Health South, Mark Braz, and Nurse Liaison Jennifer Simon to talk about National Rehabilitation Week. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning.
Welcome, and
Thank
Marcus,
you.
welcome back.
Good morning,
Nice
Nancy.
to see you. Now, refresh our viewers as to what you do at Health South and what types of patients do you see in your hospital?
Well, thank you, Nancy. Yes. We've been in the community for 33 years. We're an inpatient rehabilitation hospital, and we help patients achieve their functional independence. People who have some type of medical condition that requires medical management and oversight, and who have also had a functional decline in their lives. And we work with them for 2 weeks to a month to help them get back to a level of functional independence, back to the community.
So this is when they come out of the hospital, they come in to see you?
Yes, that's right, Nancy. It's after they've been either in an acute care hospital, or if somebody's fallen at home and it doesn't meet the criteria for an acute care admission, but again has a medical condition that requires physician oversight and has had some type of functional decline.
Okay. And why are you special? Why are you unique in this area?
Well, first and foremost, people don't realize that we're actually licensed as a hospital, but we get a special exemption if we meet certain criteria. And the biggest of which is that patients have certain diagnoses, such as stroke, spinal cord injury, brain injury, that type of thing. We're also the only freestanding inpatient rehabilitation hospital in Sarasota or Manatee County. We're very large. We're one of the largest in the state with 96 beds. And our clinicians are specialized in the treatment of various diagnoses, and they treat as a team, unique diagnostic teams such as stroke and hip fracture, and that is very unique.
Okay, so you all work together to work with the patient individually.
Yes.
Now, Jennifer, why are you here? You're going to tell us about your story, right? And how you came to be with Health South.
Right. I worked for Health South as a nurse rehab liaison.
Okay.
And my assigned hospital is in Venice. And one day while I was working in that hospital, I myself got very ill. So I was here to tell my story, that I was very, very lucky that I was in that hospital, and I finally went to their ER. And I was diagnosed with something that's very rare and actually not that easy to diagnose. It's missed a lot. And that was an aortic dissection.
Oh my goodness.
Which is what John Ritter passed away from. It does get missed a lot, it gets mistreated a lot, but what it requires is immediate open heart surgery. So I went into the ER around 2 o'clock. By 6 p.m. I was in surgery being operated on.
Oh my goodness. Thank goodness you were at work.
Yes,
because it
exactly.
could have been a lot worse.
Well, and the symptoms kind of are like a heart attack. They're kind of not.
Okay.
So I didn't want to go to the ER at first. I just really wanted to go home and take a nap. But luckily, the person that was working from Health South with me in that hospital, and then employees from Venice Hospital knew me well, and said, "No, you have to go
going home.
No,
well,
don't go home and take a nap."
We're going to take a little bit more in depth at your recovery right now. Let's see how that goes.
For years, I've helped patients learn about their rehabilitation choices, but I never thought I'd be in their shoes.
Jennifer is a rehabilitation liaison. She meets with patients who need rehabilitation to discuss their options and talk to them about Health South of Sarasota. On May 12th, she was meeting with a patient at Venice Regional Bayfront Health.
When I got to work that day, I really didn't feel well at all, which is unusual for me. My coworkers took my vitals, and even though they were normal, they suggested that I go to the emergency room. But I didn't go right away.
Jen finished working with the patient, and when she was done, she looked pale and very ill. We told her it was time to go to the emergency room, and this time she agreed.
Jennifer's initial test came back normal, but she was clearly very sick. Because of this, a CAT scan of the chest was ordered with contrast, and it showed that she had an aortic dissection. With an aortic dissection, there's essentially a crack in the inner lining of the aorta, and blood travels between the first two layers. This condition is often fatal, and very few patients actually make it to the hospital alive. Because of this, she needed complicated emergency open heart surgery to try and correct the problem. However, this wasn't a guarantee that she'd survive.
Being a nurse, I knew how serious this condition was. So when I heard the diagnosis, I told Dr. Dreyer, "I'm going to die." "No, you're not," he said. "You're going to have surgery." The team at Venice Regional was great. Dr. Dreyer stayed at my bedside that first 24 hours. I was in the cardiac intensive care unit for 28 days. When it was time to decide on my next step, I knew I'd have the best chance of recovery at Health South. Though at that point, I still wasn't sure I was going to live. When I first arrived at Health South, I was very weak and could barely lift a pencil. I needed a lot of assistance with getting up, bathing, dressing, even getting ready to go to therapy. I needed assistance. I really didn't know if I was going to make it. I was shocked that I had made it as far as coming to Health South. I still didn't know for sure that I was going to live. The care team was amazing. They helped me get from being dependent on them to independent when I got home. And they helped me set a goal, and my goal was to be able to go home and take care of my son. Gavin said that Dr. DeJesus had to make me better because he didn't know what he would do without his mom. That was the reason I think I did so well. I had a lot of work to do. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. My team here at Health South Sarasota was with me every step of the way, keeping me focused on that goal and never letting me give up. I used to tell patients about our state-of-the-art hospital and advanced technologies, and now I was using it a lot. There is a feeling here of, you will get better, you can do this. After only 2 weeks, I was able to go home. I could take care of myself, and most importantly, I could take care of my son. I'm back to work helping patients, and now I have a real understanding of what they're experiencing. I think it makes me better at my job. I feel extremely lucky to have gotten such tremendous care for both my acute care and my rehabilitation. It's truly a life-changing experience. I have a new lease on life, and I'm not wasting a minute of it. Recovering from a major health event isn't easy. It takes a lot of hard work, but there's no better place to do it than Health South Sarasota. Most people don't get this chance, so that's kind of amazing.
That is amazing, and thank God you're here, and thank God you had such a team taking care of you. So appreciate you sharing your story this morning.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Always nice to see you, Marcus.
Likewise.
Coming up next on Suncoast FYI, a preview of the upcoming season at the Players Center. We'll be right back. The Players Center for Performing Arts is celebrating their 89th season. Joining me now is Artistic Director Jeffrey Kinn with a preview of the upcoming season.
Hello.
Hello, welcome back.
Thank you. Always great to be here.
Oh my gosh, 89
I know.
season.
The Players Center for Performing Arts, we were the very first performing arts organization in Sarasota.
Amazing.
Yeah. Long history.
And you look great after all
I
this
look good,
time.
yeah. Some days I feel like I'm 89, but yes, no, I'm not.
Okay, so themes. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Well, you got a couple of years to go.
Yeah, well, seriously. I love to theme my seasons. So not a lot of theaters do. So this season I was really looking at our shows and I thought there's a really great sense of believing, like believing in yourself, believing in your abilities. Annie Oakley, believed in herself even beyond her meager upbringing, and she became a success. And in Hairspray, believing that, right will win. So the entire season has this great sense of excitement, but also of believing and people overcoming their obstacles in their life.
And you're starting out with
Annie, Get Your Gun,
Annie, Get Your
which
Gun.
opens next week, and we're of course excited about it because it's a reimagined version of the show too. So it's kind of exciting. There's of course the great music by Irving Berlin, which people adore, and we could go into and sing, but I won't make you. But yeah,
you can.
We can. I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night. Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you. So the entire season has this great, amazing vibe of belief. So that's my theme, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, well, I like it.
Thank you.
I like it. And you can tell us a little bit about the rest of your theme season?
Well, yeah. Well, I'm directing our second production, which is called Vanya and Sanya and Masha and Spike. And it may sound like a Chekhov play, but it's not. It's a great comedy. It's a group of odd siblings who are living in their home, and one of the siblings wants to sell it. And it's funny. It's a little odd. There's costumes and great broad characters, but lots of heart. So I'm excited about that. All Shook Up is our Christmas experience. It's every great Elvis Presley song in one. Hairspray is in January. Spelling Bee is February, and then we're closing with Stephen Sondheim's Follies in March. So we have a great, wild Broadway season.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
No secrets to kind of share with us at this moment?
Yeah, no, everything is right as it is. I mean,
Okay,
we're good as gold. We're in our current location. We're going to stay there for a while.
Okay.
So keep visiting us at 9th Street and 41, right in downtown Sarasota.
I love it, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Now, auditions,
Yeah.
because it's Players Theater. So
Yes.
how
Well,
do people audition?
You could be on our stage.
I could, but I won't be.
We have auditions for the spring shows on November 17th, and literally anyone in the community can come, sing a little bit of a song, do a little bit of a monologue that's memorized. We'll put you through a dance routine or two, and you could be on our stage. We are the area's community theater, meaning that anyone in the community can shine and be on our stage.
Okay, what if they don't want to be on your stage, but they'd like to help?
We have tons of work to do. Every show needs set painters. We definitely need people who can sew and make costumes. We need ushers. We need people to help bring people into our theater safely. So people can literally just call our theater at 365-2494 and say, I want to help. So many people have spare time and they don't know what to do with it. Come to the Players. We will put you to work, and you'll have a great time.
And you'll have fun doing
well,
it,
you know,
too, yeah.
that's part of it. You've got to enjoy your life.
Yes.
And you've got to embrace your community. And as the community theater, it really is our goal to do just that.
Now, do you have season tickets available?
We do, and it's so inexpensive. You can buy all 6 of those it's under $130 for all 6 of those shows.
That's amazing.
So yeah, and we make it very easy. All you do is literally call the theater and say, I want to be in your seats and watch these amazing shows.
All right. Well, thank you, and I look forward to the 89th season.
I know, I do too. Thank you so much
I'll
for
see you
having me.
next year for the 90th. How's
Yes,
that?
I know.
We'll celebrate.
I'll bring my cane.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear.
Coming up next on Suncoast FYI, we take a look at how you can help our local community Suncoast charities by just eating delicious food. We'll be right back. September, let your appetite do the giving while you support local nonprofits in Florida. Joining me now are Casey Gonsmart Jr. and Lucy Nicanderi with more on how you can help. Hi, Lucy, nice to see you again.
Good to see you again, Nancy. Thanks for having us.
Thanks. And Casey, you're 5th generation with the Columbia, right?
Correct. 5 generations.
That's very cool.
Absolutely.
That's very cool. Now you have the 21st annual Columbia Restaurant Harvest coming up. What's that all about?
Yeah, the Community Harvest is a program that we've been doing at the Columbia Restaurant for the last 21 years. So, and over the last 20 years, we've actually been able to donate over $2.2 million to local nonprofits and charities. So it's been a great program. And so we do this program throughout all of our 7 Columbia restaurants and cafes throughout the state of Florida.
Okay, and it takes place for a length of time, right? It's not just a couple days.
Right, correct. So it's the entire month of September.
Yep.
So there's still time for everybody to get out and dine at one of our Columbia restaurant locations. And so the way the Community Harvest works is guests will come to our restaurant to dine like they normally would, and during their meal at the end, the server will give them a ballot that looks similar to this.
Okay.
All right, and then on the back, you'll see there the charities that have been selected to be on the Community Harvest for this year, and they can check one of the boxes for one of these charities, or if there's a charity that means something to them and that's not on this list, they can actually handwrite that in, and we'll actually and we'll actually donate to that charity on their behalf, and it's 5% of their check. And it doesn't cost them anything. So it's completely on us, on the Columbia Restaurant, on the Gonzar family. We make that donation for the guests.
So they come, they get a great meal, and then they support a charity of their choosing.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of great charities.
Now, Suncoast Charities, as we know, there's 17 local nonprofits,
Yeah.
Lucy? You're going to tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, there's 17 local nonprofits participating in the Community Harvest.
All right.
Suncoast Charities for Children being one of those. We've been involved for a number of years, so we want to thank the Gonsmart family because they go through an approval process every year. They review local charities and select various charities from every community. How it really impacts our charity is we use the certificates that come from the promotion to thank our volunteers. As you know, with our 2 festivals, we have over 350 volunteers involved. So we can thank our volunteers. We can put those certificates in our auction baskets, triple the amount of cash coming back to the charity on a bid. If we have to have a special meeting or an annual meeting, it offsets the cost. We can go out to the Columbia. They have a private room out on St. Armand's. It's awesome. If we have a business lunch sometimes that we have to entertain some people, it saves the charity money and it also helps us raise money. So we want to thank Casey and his family. They do a phenomenal job. And
it's our pleasure.
And it's great throughout the whole month. You can support Suncoast Charities for Children and a lot of other great charities in the community.
And have a great meal again.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
and you get a great meal while
meal.
you're doing
Yeah.
it. Absolutely.
Now, you have other locations throughout Florida, but you have only one here locally?
Correct.
Okay.
Only one here locally. Only the Columbia Restaurant on St. Armand Circle.
St. Armand Circle.
Until we open up a restaurant, the Buccaneer on Lombo Key.
Oh, cool.
To be continued. You have to
All
bring us
right.
on for something.
All right, we'll do that.
For
We'll
that.
do that.
But yeah, so just our Columbia Restaurant in Sarasota here, and we also run and own and operate the Chacha Coconuts right next door. But also our Columbia Restaurant in Ybor City, which is our flagship restaurant. 15 dining rooms, 1,700 seats. We have our Columbia Restaurant in St. Augustine, our Columbia Restaurant in Clearwater, and our Columbia Restaurant in Orlando Celebration. And then our 2 cafes, one's at the Tampa Bay History Center and one's at Tampa International Airport.
Wow,
So any one of those
covered.
7 spots, you come in, have a great meal, 5% of your check, pick your favorite charity, and we'll donate that.
Okay, now, final question quickly. If somebody doesn't live here and they're from out of state, we know we have a lot of visitors come, can they put a charity of their choice from out of the local area, or would at that point it be a local charity that they need to?
So we're trying for this program to be all the local charities. So
Okay.
if you happen to live in Massachusetts and you say the Humane Society of Massachusetts, it will probably we will default to the Humane Society of Sarasota
Okay.
for that.
That makes sense. All right.
But if you have any other questions, you can go to our website, ColumbiaRestaurant.com, and we can give you can fill out something to actually nominate your charity that you
For
would
next
like
time.
for next time.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for being here again, and I can't wait to go have another outstanding meal at your restaurant.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
Right after the break, we'll take a look at a few events happening across the Suncoast. Let's take a look at a couple events happening on the Suncoast this weekend. Saturday is the 34th annual Siesta Key Triathlon. It starts at 7 a.m. in the morning at 948 Beach Road. Also on Saturday, you're invited to celebrate Smithsonian Magazine's Museum Day live at the Ringling Museum. The event runs from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. and all venues of the Ringling Museum will be open and free of charge. If you would like to promote your community event on Suncoast FYI, we would love to hear from you. This is a complimentary service. Please call our producer, Robert Pandolfino, at 941-361-4616. To view previous episodes, go to snntv.com under Programming. I'm Nancy O'Neill, and we'll see you next Friday on Suncoast FYI.